You're looking at a $50 plastic barrel sitting in your garage right now, the kind people throw away after a move. Cut it the right way, mount it on your roof, and it can pull hot air out of your attic using nothing but wind. No electricity. No solar panel. No motor. Meanwhile, your attic can hit 170 degrees Fahrenheit on a hot summer day. That's up to 60 degrees hotter than the air outside, and all that heat is sitting directly above your living room ceiling. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to build this. But first, quick question. If your air conditioner runs almost nonstop in the summer just to keep up, comment the word nonstop. I want to see how many of you are dealing with this right now. Here's something most homeowners never check. Go up into your attic on a summer afternoon and look at a thermometer. In most parts of the United States, attics regularly reach between 120 and 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and in hotter regions, it can climb past 160. That heat doesn't just sit there quietly. It soaks through your insulation and radiates down into the rooms below, which means your air conditioner has to fight against it constantly. Cooling and heating already make up close to half of a typical home's total energy use. So when your attic is acting like a giant oven sitting on top of your house, you're not just uncomfortable, you're paying for it every single month. Now look at what people are spending to fix this. A solar-powered attic fan, including installation, typically runs anywhere from $300 to $1,400. And here's the part almost nobody tells you up front. If your attic isn't properly sealed, an electric or solar fan can actually pull cooled air out of your living space, which means your AC has to work even harder than before. So you could spend over $1,000 and end up with a system that makes your energy bill worse, not better. So why isn't everyone just doing this already? It's not a conspiracy. It's simpler than that. A wind-powered fan system is something you build once, and it keeps running for years with almost no maintenance. There's no motor to replace, no solar panel to clean, no monthly electric cost tied to it, and an industry built around selling you fans, controllers, and replacement parts has very little incentive to cut up an old barrel and bolt it to your roof on a product label. It's not that it doesn't work, it's that nobody profits when it does. This idea isn't new either. In 1922, a Finnish engineer named Sigurd Savonius designed a wind rotor that didn't need to face the wind to spin. Most wind turbines you picture, the big ones with propeller-style blades, have to point directly into the wind to work efficiently. Savonius's design was different. It used curved blades, shaped roughly like the letter S, mounted on a vertical shaft, and it would spin no matter which direction the wind came from. For most of the 20th century, this exact design was used on farms across the world to pump water and power ventilation, with zero electricity involved. It was cheap, it was simple, and it just worked, year after year. That's the same basic principle we're putting back to work on your roof. Here's the part that sounds too simple to be true, but it comes down to basic physics, not some hidden trick. When you cut a plastic barrel into curved sections and mount them around a vertical pole, each curved piece acts like a scoop. Wind hits the inside curve of one blade and pushes against it with real force, while the outside curve of the opposite blade offers much less resistance to that same wind. That difference in drag between the two sides is what makes the whole rotor spin. This isn't complicated aerodynamics, like an airplane wing that needs smooth airflow from one specific direction. It's the same basic idea as an old-fashioned water wheel, except this one is powered by air instead of a river current. Now, take that spinning vertical shaft and connect it to your attic fan blades using a belt and pulley system. What you've just recreated is something engineers call the stack effect. Hot air naturally rises and wants to escape through a roof vent, but normally you need an electric motor to spin the fan blades fast enough to pull that air out efficiently. With this setup, the wind is doing that job directly through a mechanical connection, with no electricity involved at any point. This is actually the same airflow principle behind those spinning metal roof turbines you've probably seen on warehouses and older homes. The difference is that those turbines are small and spin purely from wind pressure on their own. What you're building here is a larger rotor that can drive a bigger fan more consistently, even in lighter wind. Number 1. The barrel. Find a 55-gallon plastic barrel made from HDPE. the thick, durable plastic. These show up used for $5 to $15 at garage sales, farm supply stores, or businesses trying to get rid of them. Cut the barrel lengthwise into 2 or 3 curved sections. These curved pieces become your wind-catching blades. Number 2, the rotor shaft. Mount those curved sections offset around a vertical steel rod. Ideally, a length of PVC pipe with a steel rod running through the center for strength. This setup typically costs $10 to $20 at any hardware store. Arranged correctly, this becomes your Savonius rotor, the same basic shape Savonius designed back in 1922. Number 3, the frame. Build a simple support frame using wood or steel, something sturdy enough to handle wind gusts. Mount the rotor vertically in a spot on your roof that gets consistent wind exposure away from chimneys or other structures that could block airflow. Number 4, the connection. This is the part that makes it actually do something. Connect the bottom of the vertical shaft to a small pulley. Run a rubber belt, the kind used on old exercise bikes, usually around $10, down to a larger pulley connected to your attic fan blades. If you've got an old roof turbine fan sitting unused because the motor burned out, this is exactly where it gets a second life. Number 5, weatherproofing. Seal every connection point, especially where the shaft passes through your roofline, with weatherproof silicone. This keeps rain and moisture out of your attic, which matters just as much as the mechanical setup itself. Add it all up, using mostly reclaimed materials, and you're looking at roughly $35 to $60 total. Compare that to $300 to $1,400 for a store-bought solar attic fan setup that might not even work properly if your attic isn't sealed right. I'm not going to pretend this replaces central air conditioning, because it doesn't, and I'm not trying to sell you a fantasy. This system depends on wind. On a completely calm day, the rotor won't turn, and your attic will heat up the same way it would without any fan at all. If you live somewhere with very little consistent wind, you'd need to build a larger rotor to capture enough energy from whatever breeze you do get, and even then, results will vary. Research on attic ventilation also shows something worth knowing. Even a well-designed ventilation system typically only brings attic temperatures down to within 10 to 20 degrees of the outdoor temperature. It doesn't turn your attic into a cold space. It brings it back closer to normal. So on a day where it's 100 degrees outside, your attic might still sit around 115 to 120, just not 170. There's also the mechanical side to think about. A belt and pulley system exposed to weather will need occasional checking. The belt can wear out over years and need replacing, and that's a maintenance cost, even if it's a small one. Here's the question worth sitting with. Why doesn't any company sell a $40 mechanical fan that runs on wind for the rest of your life? It's not some hidden conspiracy. It's simple math. A product that needs no electricity, no solar panel, and barely any maintenance doesn't generate repeat business. There's no subscription, no replacement part to sell you next year, nothing recurring. The companies aren't hiding this because it's dangerous or fake. They're just not interested in selling you something you only ever buy once. But here's the real value in understanding how this works. It's not just about one fan on one roof. Once you understand how a Savonius rotor turns wind into rotation and how the stack effect pulls hot air out of a structure, that's knowledge you can apply to almost any small wind-powered project down the road. A barn vent, a greenhouse, a shed. That's the difference between buying a solution and actually understanding one. And understanding doesn't come with a price tag. So go back up. Did you comment nonstop? Let me know in the comments, what's the highest your attic has ever felt when you've gone up there in summer? I read every single one. And if this was useful, subscribe. Because there's a lot of knowledge like this quietly disappearing, simply because nobody can put it in a box and sell it to you.